All right, everyone. This is Pharmacist On Call. We're about to start our 1 hour community service where you get to call in and ask questions about anything healthcare related. You know what? Hey, if y'all want to talk about politics, current events, we can do that too. But the number is up there, 615-737-7587. For those of you who want to chime in, if you have a burning health question you hadn't gotten answered. About how much time we got, Josh, before we? Okay, about 45 seconds before we're on air. We'll be getting it in, y'all. Okay. Good evening, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, those of you as far west as Jackson, those of you as far east as Crossville. Welcome to Pharmacist On Call with your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt. And if you're watching this show, I am your community pharmacist. Everyone, welcome to the September edition of Pharmacist On Call. This is your 1 hour forum where you get to call with those burning health questions and things that you want to know, because let's face it, your doctors are busy, your pharmacists are busy, they don't have time. But for this hour, I do. This is our 1 hour community service to you, sponsored by Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy, the pharmacy choice for the uninsured. And this is where we give back to the community to answer questions about things that you may need, no matter whether it's a health condition or if it's about your medication or supplementation or some weird internet theory that you may have heard. But this is your show, so we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Health, politics, religion, doesn't matter. Y'all call in and we're gonna talk about it, okay? As we do, we normally start with our birthdays and our condolences and all of that. So for birthdays, wanted to shout out to my late brother Jeremy Hardy on his birthday coming up on the 16th, and my cousin Finest Daly. See all these mean Virgos out here. Happy birthday to y'all out there. Pharmacy school classmate Kimberly Thomas Barnes got an opportunity to go to a birthday party last weekend. Very nice shindig. In fact, shout out to Keith and Nicole Mason out there at Venue 109, where it was held. So if you all have any functions that you want to hold, Venue 109 out there in Rivergate, very nice spot. So I tell Keith and Nicole I shouted them out. No condolences to announce right now that I can think of, but did want to, even though it's off topic, wanted to congratulate Miss Sha'Carri Richardson, the fastest woman in the world, on finally overcoming the personal battles and whooping up on the Jamaicans and showing that, hey, she's a comeback story. You apply yourself, you can do it. And then also a big shout out to Coach Deion Sanders. That's right, Big Coach Prime. So I'm going to be talking about him all year, y'all. So turn the TV if you don't like it. So the job that he's done with the first game beating TCU, with the Colorado Buffaloes beating TCU, who were the runners-up last year in the national title game. So we expect great things from Coach Prime and his team out there. Well, guys, until you all call in with some questions, we can get started with the supplements here. So I'm thinking, since we're coming up on cold flu season, we want to talk about prevention. And so prevention, we want to start with our friend beetroot juice here, who is a very popular, probably our most popular supplement there, because what beetroot juice does is, it helps those who have issues with hypertension, with diabetes, with cholesterol, those of you who have pancreatitis, those of you who have hepatitis, because it's also good for the liver, a great source of energy, giving you iron. Just some of everything. Those of you who are kind of locked up, constipated, a great source of fiber. So beetroot juice is it's our wonder product. So it does probably 10 other things that I didn't even mention. But I like this product because it covers so many different things. So beetroot juice kind of came to us. We had a bunch of truckers who came in looking for something natural to get their blood pressure down because their prescription medications wasn't doing the job, and they still had hypertension, even though they were taking prescription medications, and they were still failing their DOT physicals. So they were looking for something to help them pass these tests. So I gave everybody a shot of beetroot juice right before their test, and everybody passed. So shout out to those truckers who, even though you were taking medicine, once you added beetroot juice, it gave it that little extra push that you needed. And one of them came in and said, Doc, well, you know what? I came back from my doctor and I noticed that my A1C was down too. Does this work in diabetes? And so I had to go back and research. And lo and behold, yes, it does. It gives the pancreas the alkalinity that it needs so the pancreas can begin to function better on its own. And I'll tell you guys, in terms of diabetes, this stuff has worked wonders, and hypertension as well. We've had a number of people either reduce or come off of their medication altogether using just beetroot juice. So this stuff is pretty good. It provides your pancreas the alkalinity that it needs, because remember, your pancreas is an alkaline enzyme, an alkaline organ. And so it produces amylase and lipase, which are alkaline enzymes that help break down your food. So for those of you who suffer from pancreatitis, you notice that you're throwing up a lot, you've lost a lot of weight, and you're having pain in your stomach around this area here, this will help you with that as well. So beetroot juice, great for diabetes. In terms of hypertension, the way it works is, so you can think about your heart having to pump hard because those vessels are so small. So what happens is once the vessels open up because of the organic nitrates in the beetroot juice, the heart doesn't have to pump as hard anymore. So by biofeedback mechanism, your blood pressure begins to decrease. And so this has worked wonders in blood pressure as well. For those of you who have issues with cholesterol, and if you're living in the South, you're going to probably have that trifecta, that hypertension, diabetes, and cholesterol. This works on the level of the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, what we call statins, to help reduce your cholesterol. And the other thing is, I think we talked about liver disease. So liver disease, your liver probably builds up toxins because it's one of our major filters, that and the kidneys. And so over time, because of heavy alcohol use, or sometimes damage from drugs, your liver can become very filled with toxins, and it can become injured. So what we do is we do a shot of beetroot juice, and this contains a chemical called betaine, Betain. And what betaine does is it begins to detoxify the liver, but also helps the liver to begin to heal itself. So for those of you suffering from a fatty liver, those of you suffering from hepatitis, and on the opposite side, is the liver is over here. So if you're having pain over here, just know that it's probably pancreatitis, especially after you have sugar or alcohol. And over here is probably going to be your liver, especially after you have sugar or alcohol. So remember that the difference in the sides, guys. But at either rate, no matter what the side is, beetroot juice has got you covered, okay? All right, looks like we got our first call here. So we're going to get in and let me stop all this talking. Pharmacist on Call, let me help you.
Hey, Dr. Ford, this is Sarah from Clarksville.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been ordering that beetroot juice and the hemp oil. I just wanted to say that the beetroot juice is working well, and that the hemp oil, my husband sees a big difference in his arthritis. So it's really doing the job. So just want to let you know that. And I was wondering about the Dr. Pruitt's potion. Can you refresh me on what it covers or what it's good for?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. In fact, we'll get into that because as we talk about we're coming up on flu season, I'll go heavy into this.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
Okay.
stay tuned to the show. I'm going to get into Dr. Pruitt's potion and what it does and how it does what it does.
Okay, that's excellent. Well, I'll just stay tuned and listen.
Okay. Thank you for calling. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out for both of you.
Yeah, it is working. So, is this the time where we might get something for free? But I'm not sure is this the time or not.
That was last month. The next free
Last month. Okay.
the next free show will be December. So
Is this okay? Because I
yeah.
wasn't sure of how it was set up. So that's fine. But I definitely wanted to let you know about the product.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, Miss Sarah.
You're welcome. Thanks so much.
Okay. Have a good one now.
You do the same.
All righty. Bye. Okay, yeah. So yeah, one of our calls out there, viewers from Clarksville. So a big shout out to y'all, and glad the products are working for you. Let's see, Charlene, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. Let me help you, Charlene.
Hi, Dr. Ford. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've been having a lot of cramps in my leg, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do for my cramps.
Okay. Are you on cholesterol medicine?
No, I don't have no problem with clothes or anything. I'm drinking that beetroot juice and taking your post.
Okay. Have you been outside doing a lot of sweating and not replacing your salts?
No.
Okay. Yeah, cramping makes me think your potassium is low.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would probably do some. I'd rather you get it naturally. So you could either do a banana a day, nice glass of orange juice, not orange drink, or maybe some green leafy vegetables to get the potassium back into you, because that's what it sounded like. The days last week and the week before were really hot. A lot of us sweated out a lot of the electrolytes that we have in us, and so suffering from dehydration and electrolyte loss, it is easy to start cramping and not even notice. So I try potassium supplementation first.
Okay, that's good. This is Bakari Mom,
I know who
and
you are.
my birthday is September 20th, and I'm not a mean Virgo. I'm a nice Virgo.
You are the only one. But happy early
my
birthday, Miss
birthday is
Charlene.
my, my birthday is September 20th.
September 20th. Okay, well, Miss Charlene, happy birthday to you too.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. All right, you're welcome.
You have a good evening.
Yes, ma'am. You too. All right, we're gonna
Okay,
squeeze one
thank
more
you.
in here. You're welcome. All right, bye bye. Okay, Betty. Welcome to Pharmacist on Call. Let me help you.
Yes, Dr. Pruitt, how are you today?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine. What you giving away free today? Nothing?
Advice, encouragement. That's what I'm giving away free today. So the free shows, guys, are going to be January. We can start off the new year, February, because that's my birthday month. Let's see, then August, because it's the anniversary of the first pharmacy, and then December to commemorate the holiday season. Now, I'll be in the spirit of getting it. So you only got 3 more
Okay.
months. Yeah, December show.
So this what I want to ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been on that lot of Pinkett that you had put me on.
Uh huh.
My sister had got some and she was telling me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still having a little night sweats and I started taking vitamin D and vitamin B12.
Okay.
And what I done had I done had my knees are bothering me. And I went and had an MRI and she said the left knee is on bone, but it don't bother me. But sometimes if I do a lot of walking in the park, like go walking for my walk,
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes, I got a sick daughter, and sometimes it feel like it's just dangling, and I put on a knee brace to pull it up.
Okay.
And I was wondering, what do you recommend for that,
For the dangling or for the discomfort?
for the discomfort? It'll pain sometimes. They said the right one was good, but it was the left knee.
Yeah, I recommend the hemp oil or the hemp lotion. If your
Mm-hmm.
knee is the only problem, you can just rub some lotion there. But I like using this because it takes care of discomfort throughout the whole body. And you may have it
Mm-hmm.
and not even notice it because the knee may be the worst part. So you get your good
No.
half a dropper full of this hemp oil, leave it under your
Mm-hmm.
tongue, let it sit there for a minute and swallow it. Most people say they feel pain relief within 1 to 2 minutes. So this stuff works
Okay.
very quickly. So this is
Is
what I
that
recommend.
expensive?
Ma'am?
Is it expensive?
No, ma'am. The smallest ball is $20, 40 the next size, 80 the next size, and 160 depending on the milligram. So
Well,
hemp
do
oil,
they help with nerves too? Because I had a lot of death in my family this month.
yes,
I
ma'am. It
lost
will. Yeah.
and help with the nerve. Okay. And this, I want to ask you one more thing on that. I already get your water. We came and got so much water, but I got to get some more because I got a water machine and
Okay.
mine's almost dry. But I'm already on the water. I've been on the water for about a year.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just have to stop through there and get some hemp oil. But do you think that that's my need? She said it was bone on bone, but it's not a hurt like that because my daughter just had two knee surgeries, but she got sickle cell
Okay.
and she had AVE in the joints.
Okay.
She had hip and two knee replacements.
Okay.
Mine don't feel like it rubbing, but sometimes when I've been on it, helping her and been tired, it feel like it's just dangling.
Okay. Well, that's
But it don't rub, it don't do nothing like it ain't bulk on me or nothing.
okay. Well, whatever it's doing, this is what we're gonna do for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, we'll get some hemp oil, some hemp lotion.
And I want to ask you about your beetroot juice.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that good for like blood pressure? I get nausea in my stomach a lot too.
Then I would do the hemp oil, the CBD oil. This helps with nausea too.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
wanted to ask you about your beetroot juice.
Well, we gotta try to squeeze the other folks in too, Miss Betty. You know.
Okay, I understand. I understand, but thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. All right,
I'm gonna get there.
All righty. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, everyone, stay right there. The phones are lighting up. We'll be right back. All right, who we got? Okay. Keisha or Tisha? Okay. All righty. All right, we can do that. Let's see here. All right, so those of you out there in our social media world, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, this is your chance to ask questions. If you put it through the chat box, I'll mention it once we come back live on air. I see some of you already chiming in, so we'll get your questions answered on air once we get through these 3 calls here. In fact, let me see what you guys are asking here. Okay. All right, Trisha, I'm going to answer your question once we get back on air. That is a common question. Let's see. Wendy Owens, explain NAD therapy. So I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that. Okay. So kind of in the chat box, kind of explain what that is. I'm not sure what it's short for. Okay. All right. 30 seconds, guys. I'm going to get back on air here. And don't be shy about calling in. 615-737-7587 is the phone number. So if you are out there worldwide, chime in. All right, welcome back to Pharmacist on Call with your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt, Community Pharmacist of the World. We did get an Instagram viewer who asked a question, and I get commonly asked this question. Is the name of this product beetle juice? Beetle juice? No, it is not, but everybody calls it that. It is beetroot juice. So no, Miss Dowling, no, it is not beetle juice. That always tickles me when I hear people say it. It is beetroot juice. Okay, all right, so let's get back into your calls here. Pharmacist on Call, may I help you?
Yes, hi. I had a question. I recently had a kidney stone and it didn't pass, so they had to do surgery, and they put a stent in. The stent is terribly painful. What would you recommend for that?
You said that the stent is what now, ma'am?
I'm in agonizing pain. It hurts terribly.
I would go and ask them if it's possible for them to reposition that stent And then second, I'm not sure how effective it'll be because you're going to constantly have that stent if it isn't properly placed, causing pain. This should give you some measure of relief, but how much, I'm not sure, given that the stent, is there. So I would speak with the surgeon about that, see if maybe we could go back in, make sure that it's, not pinned against anything that's sensitive. You follow me?
Yes, sir. What is that?
Oh, I guess I should tell you. Yes, this is our Pharmacist Blends hemp oil. So this is our over-the-counter pain solution, anxiety, insomnia, nausea. So this is hemp, full spectrum
Where
hemp.
can you get that at?
Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy, the pharmacy choice for the uninsured. And you're going to have to watch the show because my producer will give my address at the end of the show.
Great.
Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All righty, bye-bye. Say, we have got Tisha. Welcome to Pharmacist Only. Tisha, I think you have departed there. All right, Gwendolyn. Welcome to Pharmacist On Call. Let me help you.
Hi, so I am a 39-year-old female, and I have a 20-month-old.
Okay.
For the past couple of months, I have been experiencing like memory problems and focus problems. So I was trying to see what can I do for that.
At 39, I would normally recommend ginkgo biloba to allow more blood flow into the brain. That's usually what I recommend first line for memory. But I do keep getting a lot of good reviews for a product called Prevagen. So I would probably explore that, ma'am. That may help you.
Okay, also, I have well, my family has a history of arthritis also. So I wanted to start like, maybe prevention measures. What would you suggest for that as well?
A couple of things. The first thing, since we know that arthritis is essentially inflammation, a good natural anti-inflammatory is going to be turmeric, Turmeric. It's a spice. So I recommend turmeric, a good anti-inflammatory product. And then another good anti-inflammatory product is this guy right here, Pharmacist Blend hemp oil.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All righty. Bye-bye. Let's see. We've got Mark. Welcome to Pharmacist On Call. Let me help you. Mark, going once.
This is Gwendolyn.
Is it still you, Gwendolyn?
Yes.
Okay. What's your...
Okay. Good evening to you.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was calling. I had a stroke a couple of years ago, and I have neuropathy really bad. And the doctor has me on gabapentin.
Okay.
400 3 times a day, and it doesn't do anything. Do you think I should go higher? Is there something else that I can take? Because I am on some other things, and I'm trying to get away from taking medicine,
Yeah.
So what do you think? Is there anything that can help neuropathy?
Yes, ma'am. So I'll just say this first before I give you what it is. You're only at the mid-range of your dosing, so 403 times a day. Gabapentin goes up to 800 milligrams 3 times a day. So you have a lot of wiggle room to get your dose increased to something. Sometimes it's just the dose that needs to be increased. So I would explore that with your doctor. Say, hey, could you bump me up to maybe 600 or 800 and see how you do there? And that may be a simple solution for you. But we also have something over the counter and natural for neuropathy. It's the only thing I've seen that works for it is, again, our friend Pharmacist Blend hemp oil. So again, this stuff, I forgot neuropathy, but add that into the chronic pain too. This works for neuropathy as well. And the people who have sampled it have gotten relief, like I said, in about 1 or 2 minutes when I let them sample it. Oh, free samples every day, by the way. If you, all you meemaws and grandpas out there, stop by for a free sample of hemp oil.
Well, I'm going to stop by because, I'm taking it and it's not, and I broke my arm on that same side where I had the stroke. Okay. And I don't think that's it's not getting, well, it's still painful, very painful. And I think some of it's because I had the stroke. And so, and with the neuropathy on that same side, I'm thinking that it might be, that that's what's causing it not to get well.
Maybe.
So, yeah. Okay, so do you have that hemp oil at your place where you are?
We do, yes, ma'am. And again, the prices range from $20 on up.
Okay, well, I'm going to come by. I was there one day and you weren't there, but I'm going to come by and get some of that and try that. I'm just tired of taking a whole lot of, pills and stuff. I'm trying to, get rid of some of it. So anyway, what I will do maybe one day is bring my list and maybe you can kind of, give me some thoughts about it. Okay?
Okay, and since you brought that up, everyone, I do consultations, 15-minute consultations, like what she's talking about. You bring your med list, your labs. We discuss your chief complaints, and then we come up with a workable solution. Those run $35 for 15 minutes, and then the price goes up from there. This is private time. You get with me in the back clinic there, undisturbed. So if you need to speak with me privately, then yes, I do offer consultations.
Okay, then I'll probably do that now. I have to call and get an appointment.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will do that because I want to do something different.
Okay. Well, that you're coming to the right place because we always do something different.
We do have that beet. My husband is taking it. What is it? The beet oil?
Beetroot juice.
Yeah, he's taking that. So he's doing good too. Maybe I need to take some of that too.
Yeah, tell him to share some with you.
Anyway, yeah. But I appreciate you talking to me, and you have a good evening, and thank you so much.
But I will say this, since you brought that up, what beetroot juice does is it opens, and since you've had the stroke, you may find some benefit from it because it opens up the blood vessels, and hopefully we can begin to perfuse the part of the body affected by the stroke by letting more blood flow in there. So it may be a good idea for you to start on the beetroot juice.
Okay, well we have a bottle, so I'm gonna try it and see what happens.
All right, good deal. All right, thank you for your call, Ms. Gwendolyn.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All righty, bye-bye. Okay. Pharmacist on Call, may I help you? Mark, welcome to Pharmacist on Call, may I help you?
I got a pain on my lower right back. I got a pinched nerve. I got a real bad thing. It shoots down to my right leg, and it's a pinched nerve. Real bad thing. What do I need to take for that?
Okay, it's a pinched nerve. First thing I probably recommend is go see a chiropractor so that we can adjust your spine to get keep that nerve from being pinched. The second thing I would recommend, I highly recommend that first, go see a chiropractor. And a lot of them have like free initial exams and all that, and they'll probably adjust you for free. But I think that would be most of what you need. And then secondarily, you could go with the hemp oil to help slow down the transmission of that pain. Okay, Mark? Mark? You hear me there, sir? Mark going once. Mark going twice. And okay, let's go to Michael. Welcome to Pharmacist on Call. Let me help you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can, yes, sir.
Can you please tell me what folic acid is for?
So folic acid is one of the B vitamins, guys. And what it does is it increases your hemoglobin. So for those of you who happen to be anemic or low hematocrit, folic acid increases your hemoglobin. So it's one of the B vitamins. And the B vitamins in general have their effect in dealing with nerve health. So neuropathy, I should have mentioned that too. So those of you who have issues with nerves, B12. But yeah, so that's what folic acid does. Has your doctor ever told you?
Well, let me ask you this. As I've aged, I get all these bruises on my arms and hands. I mean, you can just take your finger and flick it on my arm, and in 5 minutes, it's a gigantic purple.
Are you on blood thinner, sir?
I take Sorting for blood pressure.
No, blood thinner, like something to keep you from clotting, like warfarin,
Nope.
Eliquis,
Nope.
nothing like that?
No, all I have is Sorting and folic acid.
Let's
for the last 15 years.
Okay. They want to have your doctors look at your liver and make sure it's functioning just fine. So it sounds like you may have a clotting disorder there.
Okay.
And just see what's going on with your blood.
All right. Well, I surely appreciate you talking to me.
Yes, sir. What we're here for.
Have a good one.
Okay, you too now. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. Okay, all right. We're up on another break. You all stay right there. We'll be right back. All right, we got through everybody there. Okay, let's see what some of you net viewers are talking about. All right, Ms. Edwards, we will answer that when we get back on air. And then, Wendy, I still got to answer your IV drip therapy questions. Okay. All right, guys. So we're about 30 seconds out, and we'll jump back in, get to answering your questions and whatnot. And then we'll talk about the potion here. All right, welcome back to Pharmacist On Call with your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt, Community Pharmacist of the World. Since we don't have any calls, did want to give some shout outs here. Jason and Dorothy Stafford up there in Red Boiling Springs. Big shout out to you guys, pretty consistent viewers and loyal supporters. We have a question from one of our viewers, and she's from Facebook. Her name is Wendy Owens, and she wanted to know, hey, what do I think about IV drip therapy? If you're thinking, if what I'm thinking about is correct, getting IV drip therapy, this is where you go in, you get it infused into you. If you are short on electrolytes or vitamins, or for those of you who are weekend warriors and you got a good hangover, something to hydrate you properly. I like the concept. In fact, I have a classmate from high school. She has like an IV drip therapy place. So it's a way to get your electrolytes into you very quickly. You don't have to worry about it absorbing into the bloodstream. And I think these are monthly doses of vitamins, like B12 is one of them, to be precise. So yeah, I'm a fan of IV drip therapy. I haven't done it myself, but the concept I do agree with. So I hope that kind of answers your question there. And she asked something about NAD therapy. Hopefully you can answer that. Just be a little more specific about what that is, because I hadn't heard of it. And we've got another question from a Facebook viewer, Helen Edwards. Hey, she wanted to know, I sit down for a minute and I try to get up and my legs hurt so bad. So that could be a couple of things. You may be experiencing neuropathy from sitting down in the wrong position, or the pain may be coming from arthritis that's either in the hips or the legs. And once you're changing position from that sitting position, it's causing pain. But guess what? Two things I would recommend, Miss Edwards, is either turmeric to prevent the inflammation from the legs. The other piece is hemp oil. If this happens after you've been sitting for a while watching TV, and then you try to stand up, depending on how you sit and depending on how your back is positioned, it may cause neuropathy. So this is what I would do. Now we're going to get into the potion. So we're talking about cold flu season coming up. You all know that COVID has made a comeback. And so it's time to talk about Dr. Pruitt's potion. As you all know, I formulated this in 2020, so did 3 years ago during the epidemic. And this was before any talk of a vaccine was had. People were dying and people were frightened and getting sick. And so a number of them came to me and asked me to come up with something that could help the immune system fight off what was out there. And so after doing research for about a week or so on how the virus attacks us, how the virus kills us, I came up with 4 ingredients that seem to countermand the effects of the virus on the body. So we'll talk about my ingredients here for those of you who want to know what this is. I'm not one of those guys that has to be, you know, mysterious about my ingredients and I think you're going to copy it. I don't care because you can't do it better than me. So the first ingredient is black seed oil. The reason I chose black seed oil is because the primary way that COVID kills us is 2 ways. It is blood clots and inflammation. And so I needed something that was a natural blood thinner to keep the blood thin, to resist the myeloid immune system's proclivity to clot the blood, which is what happens. This is an immune system effect caused by the virus. Makes the blood thicker. We needed something to keep the blood thin so that you all could continue to survive and those blood clots away so you could continue to survive. Tell you what, we're going to get into it because we got a call. I can go all day on this, but you all hang on a second there. Miriam, Pharmacist On Call, may I help you?
Yes, I was calling to see, you know, if you have, only happens at nighttime, if you have rattling in your throat and your chest, but then it moves down to your stomach. What is going on with that?
Rattling, like you need to go.
Yes, like, you know, a little bit of mucus in your throat, like only when you lay down to go to sleep.
Okay, so how long between the time you ate last and you laid down?
About 2 hours.
Okay, all right, that's a decent time. Now it's going to happen because some of the things we eat, people, produce mucus, and that's where we're going to get our rattling from. So those are going to be dairy products, milk, cheese, eggs, and sugary stuff. So if you track it, if it's the night that you're rattling, you're like, man, I had a big juicy deep dish pizza that night. That's what's causing it. Or I had a whole plate of macaroni and cheese and nothing else. That's what's causing it. Or I ate a tub of ice cream. That's what caused the mucus production.
Okay. Is there anything that you can take for that?
We talking about it right now. Dr. Pruitt's potion.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So you do your 2 teaspoons of this, and but we'll get into the mucus production too. But you have a good question because a lot of people don't understand. When you wake up in the morning, your nose is running, and you think, well, I'm not really sick. No, that's your body's response to you giving it mucus, which is pretty much what milk and cheese and all that stuff is. While it is very good, it's a mucus producing food.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All righty, bye-bye. And so we talked about inflammation. Black seed oil is also a natural anti-inflammatory. So we have the blood thinning properties, and we need something that is also going to stop inflammation because you heard about the people, the breathing. Sometimes it was clots. A lot of times it was inflammation in the lungs that were preventing us from breathing properly. The other thing that seemed to be happening is our immune system was turning against us. Now you have 2 types of immunity. You have the adaptoid and then you have the myeloid. So adaptoid is the good immune response. We're producing antibodies and killer T cells and all that good stuff to fight the infection. But we have the bad part of the immune system, the part that makes us uncomfortable, is the myeloid. And so that's where you get your inflammation from and the cytokine production. If you all heard about the cytokine storm, And that is what leads to killing some of us too. So I needed something that could calm down the bad part of the immune system, but in the same vein, increase the good part of the immune system, which is the antibody production. And that, my friends, is what the potion does through the actions of black seed oil and through vitamin D oil, which is also in here because I needed a good part of the immune system stimulated. And I had one of TikTok trolls talking about boosting the immune system and pseudoscience. There's no such thing. I'm here to tell you it is, and there are several published journals on boosting the immune system, dear internet troll. So the other thing that we needed to do is people were having issues with pneumonia. And so I put raw honey in there because it had the ability to shorten the duration of that cough, but also the duration of the pneumonia. In fact, honey, once it's ingested, converts into hydrogen peroxide, which you all know that that's an antimicrobial, but it also helps with that cough. And guys, I'm telling you, many people after the first dose began to feel better. And that's because I've concentrated and I've got the right ingredients at the right amount so that this has an immediate effect on your body when you're suffering from COVID-19, flu, RSV, cold, allergies, sinuses, anything dealing like that. So this is what you're going to want during cold flu season. Okay, guys? Okay, we got Peggy on 10, but we're going to get back into it here. Pharmacist on call, may I help you?
Yes, I'm calling because I am a diabetic.
Yes, ma'am.
The first year, my A1C was 12.1, and they put me on, it's 6.6 now. But they want to put me on insulin and take me off of 2 of my pills.
Okay.
And I don't feel like I need insulin.
Okay, I tell you what, this is how we're going to get it down even further, Peggy. But kudos for you getting your blood sugar down like that. So what I would suggest you do is 2 things. One, continue to take the insulin. Well, you're just on 2 pills now, right? They haven't put you on insulin yet?
No, I'm not on insulin. I take 3 medications. I take Glibepride,
okay,
Actose, and 500 milligram of metformin at night.
All right, cool. This is how we're going to get your blood sugar down. We're going to get your A1C probably in the mid 5s, okay? And then your doctor leave you alone. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is our night meals are not going to be bread, pasta, rice, anything like that. No carbs, okay? So when we test in the morning, the sugar's automatically going to be low. So guys, what happens is when we eat those carbohydrate products, the body converts it into 2 things, fat and sugar, okay? So if you're going to eat your carbs, you're going to eat your potato, make sure you don't eat it after lunch, okay? Dinner time needs to be a salad or a soup. And I guarantee you, you're going to go down quickly, okay? Or your morning sugar. The second thing that you need to do, Peggy, is get you about a cap full of this beetroot juice, shake it up real good, cap full on an empty stomach every morning, and right before you go to bed. And when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be good. Yeah. This works quickly. All right. So that's follow back up with us, but you come and get you a beetroot juice or call us if you live out of town. And that dietary change of not eating carbs for dinner, and watch how quick. I'm talking next week your sugar. I'm talking tomorrow your sugar's going to go down. Okay, so yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it go from like a 12 to an 8 in like a week, and then down to a 6. Probably a week or so after that. Beetroot juice and no carbs. Well, no carbs at night.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. Okay, let's see here. We've got a few minutes before another break. So we're still talking about the potion here. And so the lady mentioned mucus. Guys, that is an immune system response to you putting the cheese and the butter and the eggs and all that in there. So we can stop that with this. And that's why this has been so effective in allergy season. As you know, Nashville, Tennessee is the allergy capital of the world. We got everything, maple, oak, elm, all of that stuff. So all of you are transplants. This is what you need if you are just about ready to leave Nashville and not move here ever again. This will stop the mucus production, okay? But again, just know that it's caused by the things that we eat. So cold, flu, RSV, the big C19, the big COVID, okay? It's got a good track record against all those allergies and sinuses. So bone up on your potion. Now, I've only got about 4 bottles left, so I've got to make some over the weekend. But this stuff has been going crazy the last 2 months. And so that's my indicator that COVID has really made a resurgence. So you guys stop by and get this, because this can be a game changer. And as my patients will tell you, it has been a lifesaver for many of them. All right, so it looks like we're up on another break. You all stay right there. We're going to be back shortly. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That'll give me trying to talk about these last 2 supplements here. All right, everyone. Once we come in, we'll talk about 2 other supplements. So you guys either call in or shoot. I see some questions there. So we'll get to your question, Miss Nicole. And big shout out to Dorothy and Jason Stafford there. See y'all watching. Good to see you. Okay. Same one. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, no problem. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. Well, we'll see, since she's the only one. And no, y'all have not lost it. I'm talking to my producer, Josh, through the earpiece here. So we're get some logistical stuff done here. Okay. All right, 30 seconds, guys. I'm getting ready to jump back into it. All right, welcome back to Pharmacist On Call with your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt, community pharmacist of the world. Looks like we've got one more caller, so we're going to get into it right now. Betty, welcome to Pharmacist On Call. Let me help you.
This is Betty. I'm calling for a person that is a diabetic.
Yes, ma'am.
And she's on Litformin, and she has a big stomach, and she would like to know what could be taken to maybe help get rid of that. And if you're going to talk on it, let me hang up and turn my TV up where I can hear you, please.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Okay. So a common situation, guys, with diabetics is you all have something called gastroparesis. And it can manifest as a bloated stomach. And I'm assuming that's what she's talking about. Sometimes it's a marker for your diabetes if it's not been properly controlled. What we normally prescribe, or what's normally prescribed, is something called Reglan or metoclopramide, because in diabetes, the stomach begins to kind of churn slowly. And so this drug is what we call a prokinetic. It's something to get the stomach moving so that you can process your food. So those of you who have diabetes, and Betty, your friend, has probably talked about nausea sometimes. She's probably talked about how hard her stomach is. That is called gastroparesis. So she should be on a medication called metoclopramide, metoclopramide. Usually comes as a 5 or a 10 milligram tablet. She takes it about maybe 30 minutes or so before meals and bedtime. So that is to help her with that stomach. Now we're just talking about general, body fat in general. Here's the thing, guys. For those of you who are on insulin, insulin is an anabolic steroid. And so what it is, it's just going to put weight on you because it is a hormone. So, and even some bodybuilders are using it to get muscular. But if you're diabetic and you're not using it to get ripped and shredded, it's just going to manifest as extra weight and fat. So that's a byproduct of your insulin. The other piece is what you can kind of do about it is what I recommended to Peggy, which was to decrease the amount of carbohydrate intake at your last meal. So I know y'all, I can hear you talking about, but I love pizza on Thursday. I understand that. So if you got one day that you need to cheat, then fine, but it cannot be heavy carb laden every night of the week. Okay, guys. So salads up in there, soups in there. Okay. Or you eat your meals much earlier. Make sure that you're physically active so you can burn the carbohydrates that you are intaking during the day so we can kind of get that stomach down. Now, for weight loss, I'm glad she segued into that, is Garcinia cambogia. And you know what? We've got to call this, y'all. We're going to get into this as soon as we get them off the phone, okay? But this is my weight loss stuff. Pharmacist on call. Let me help you. Hello, caller.
Yes.
D?
Yes, thank you. Yes, this is D.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Yes, I was calling to see, is there anything to do for a low white blood count?
Yeah.
Hang up.
Yes, there is. And I think it's called astragalus. I think astragalus improves white blood cell count. So it's kind of like an immune system stimulating kind of herb. Okay. But call me at the pharmacy tomorrow. I want to double check that, but I think because I've had a couple of people come by for that, I think astragalus is what I recommended for them.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. That's good. Bye-bye. All right, bye-bye. Good question. All right, Catherine, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. Let me help you.
Yes, I have a question about olive leaf extract as a method for reducing blood pressure. Have you any information on that?
No, ma'am. Olive leaf extract, I generally recommend for yeast and fungus.
All righty.
Yes, ma'am. So that's usually what I found it being pretty good for blood pressure. I haven't found anything beat this guy here. This stuff is, I mean, I've been open 11 years and we've been selling it about that long. And it's tried and true.
All righty. So I'll go with the beetroot juice and I'll give you a call tomorrow and place an order.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Bye-bye. Okay. So getting back into weight loss, guys. Garcinia cambogia, the compound that's the active compound is hydroxycitric acid, and it helps you lose weight in 3 different ways. First, shuts off the appetite so you don't eat as much. And I promise you, y'all, I can knock off a whole pizza. When I was taking this stuff many years ago, I was cut down to maybe 1 or 2 slices. So I'm like, man, what the heck is wrong with me? So this thing is a potent appetite suppressant. The second thing that it does is, like we talked about at night, eating our carbs. This blocks the body from converting that carbohydrate into fat. And the enzyme that does that is citrate lyase. And so what this does, it stops citrate lyase from turning that pizza crust into fat. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is it has a mild antidepressant effect. And so as we approach the holiday season, we begin to feel a little down and want to eat a little more, especially about if we've missed a loved one or ex or whatever. So this keeps the mood up so you don't feel the need to binge eat because you're sad. And I'll say, guys, for those of you who are taking antidepressants like Zoloft and all of that, this works on the same neurotransmitter, which is called serotonin, okay? So for those of you taking stuff like that, you probably would be a good candidate for this to give you a headache or serotonin syndrome. But for those of you not taking them, Garcinia cambogia works good in diabetes. You may also notice that your blood sugar will be lowered as well. So I forgot the caller's name there, Betty. So I think this would be a good option too, but just help her understand. She also needs to get that gastroparesis dealt with. And she also needs to watch the carbs at night and Garcinia cambogia. All right, looks like we're up on another break. We will see you. So, gentlemen, how y'all doing? All right, then. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Trisha, it's called Garcinia cambogia. And if you guys go to pharmacistblend.com, you should see a picture of this, pharmacist with an S, blend.com, and it'll be on there. Let's see. I think somebody had a question about, will turmeric interfere amlodipine? No, ma'am, I doubt it. One's anti-inflammatory, the other works in blood pressure, so I wouldn't expect an interaction there. Actually, turmeric may help with your blood pressure. Let's see, Nicole McKinney, what's good for plantar fasciitis? I would recommend this, ma'am, our Pharmacist Blend hemp oil. And that should help you with the plantar fasciitis. And we also have a lotion that you can rub on directly that should help with that too. So make sure we get all your questions in here. All right. Yeah, I appreciate you all participating. You folks out there in cyberspace. Now, speaking of, remember we got free samples all day long of the hemp oil, okay? All right, welcome back to Pharmacist On Call. Your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt, community pharmacist of the world. Did miss one of my Virgos, good friend of the pharmacy, Miss Tina Irvin. She's the only one that's not mean. The rest of them, they all mean, and I don't even know why, y'all. But I appreciate this, guys. You had some great questions. If you did not get your question answered, give me a call at the pharmacy tomorrow. Guys, consultations are available. This is your Pharmacist On Call. I'll see you in October. All right, thank you, sir. All right, thank you for watching. Let's see here. Okay. All right, everyone. I appreciate you all watching. I will see you next month.